All right, guys. We're gonna look at the Vshojo stuff that like just happened again. I was gonna go look at the news itself, like on X, like the actual posts, but then apparently like there's a lot more contacts like in the Tectone videos. So like I want to watch it like through here, because otherwise I would just be doubling. I would just be looking at it again. So we'll go straight to the source, you know. Over here on Tectone and Shylily exposes Vshojo and breaks her silence. Yeah, things were not looking good for Vshojo, basically. They're done now.
Lily has broken her silence about what happened between her and Vshojo. And by the way, guys, if you're exhausted of the Vshojo, I apologize, but we're talking about everything because everybody needs to know how big of bastards this fucking company is. Let's get into it.
Hello, Lily. Hello,
Hello.
Womp Womp. Now I know this might be rude to you, Lily, but I just want to send my regards and best wishes, and all of, I mean at least 50% of my support to Iron Mouse. She deserves better.
Oh, she deserves better. Oh my god, dude. My heart dropped when I saw this. The drama frogs got into my chat yesterday, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? Leave me the fuck alone. I have to educate myself.
You found the part? Found the part for what?
What happened?
Yeah, they put Vay under an NDA that made her unable to talk to any of the girls about it. Yes!
So what you're saying is Tectone was right again? Man, I'm shocked, dude. She's not the only one.
Yeah.
All of them are, man. All of them are.
It makes sense. It makes sense for them to do this.
Yes! That part was so fucked up.
Yep.
Like, they did so much to prevent us from talking to each other and to purpose.
By the way, it's when it comes to industries like this where reputation and clout matters a lot of the times they will make you sign like an NDA on exit. They'll try to at least make you sign like an NDA, like, you know, don't talk shit or whatever, right? They try to do that for sure. Although a lot of the times it comes with money. A lot of the times it's kind of like, here's some money, be nice. Usually like that.
They, like, pit us against each other even?
So what they did is they NDA'd Silver, Nyanners, and Vebe. And then the company itself told all the girls with Vshojo that they left for a reason that they didn't leave for, to make them think that Nyanners, Silver, and Vebe were all greedy pieces of shit.
That's fucked up.
And then Nyanners, Vebe, and Silver couldn't fucking talk about it, which made all of them...
Dude, can you imagine, like, you know what's the most fucked up thing about this, by the way, chat? The fucked up thing that, like, isn't really the center of attention? How fucked up is it that they were basically slandering Silvervale, right? And her mom was NDA'd, so her mom couldn't even say anything. Like, can you imagine, like, how shitty that would feel if you were Silvervale's mom and you just see, like, your daughter getting shitted on? You know the truth. And you know, like, none of this is true. But you can't even say anything. Right? That's terrible, man. That right there is, like, fucking vile.
Drift apart. So, yeah, they stole money from charity. They stole money from all their creators, and then they caused a rift of actual friends for years just because they didn't want to be outed as pieces of shit.
So, like, I'll be careful. I don't know how much I want to say. But to be honest, I think that Silvervale is way too nice. To be honest. She's way, way, way too nice for, like, how everyone treated her. Like, the way that she got treated and, like, bussed and just shitted on, and almost, like, I'm trying to be very tactful here, and I'm retarded, so I have to be like, it takes me extra time because I'm socially retarded. But just the way that everyone treated her and let people say things about her and bust her, use her reputation as methods of making themselves look better was fucking vile. Yeah, it's fucking vile.
And, like, they did not want us to talk to each other. They did not want us to like get together and be like, yo, like what the fuck is
And like I said, like Silvervale is too nice to the point that she's even now she's holding back. So Silvervale's 100% holding back right now. Like even if you see her like, you know, saying all this stuff and like kind of bringing more to light, she's 100% holding back. Like she's holding her power back by like a significant amount. A lot.
going on? Isn't this kind of weird?
Yep.
Doormat because she's nice. Kind of, to be honest. I don't think she deserves it, to be honest. Like, I think that out of all the people that got really dumpstered by a lot of this stuff, I think Silvervale was one of the big targets. And the sad thing is like, I think some of the main people that were doing it are gonna use this as a smoke. Like, oof. They're gonna use it, like this entire thing happening, as a smokescreen to just evade ever having to deal with it, basically. Ever having to deal with the fact that they did that to Silvervale. And I know they're gonna get away with it, and it fucking sucks.
They like isolated us and like threatened us with legal action. And I can't.
Yeah, guys, is anybody... Man, I can't believe Tectone was right again. This is so shocking. Let's keep going.
I was about to end stream. I was like, brother, oh, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
There's very few VTubers I actually dislike, and one of them is in Vshojo.
And then I was on Twitter and I was like, what's going on? And then I was on YouTube and I was like, oh, no way. I'm only gonna Lily explain. I mean, I did open a can of worms on Twitter.
It's a womp womp for the mouse.
What happened? A womp for my mouse. Poor mouse. It must be...
How come all these 50-year-old VTubers can go womp womp and everybody says it's cute, but when I do it, everybody types KMS?
The reason why is because I saw, like, what happened, basically.
So fucking scary to do this. Oh, like the fucking
This just
goosebumps
in,
I
owner
had.
of Daily Dose of Shoujo YouTube channel dead of a heart attack.
What happened with Mouse? Is she okay?
In all honesty, with how much Silver has been attacked, her damage mitigation has to be stacked as fuck. He says, dude, seriously. The thing is, too, is, like, she's super nice. I think that's, like, part of it, to be honest. Like, it feels bad saying this, but I feel like she's so nice that, like, people just feel like they can beat up on her. That's kind of what it feels like. And it sucks because she's such a nice person, to be honest.
I hope so. I don't think that's easy to digest. No, she must have been literally shaking and quivering when,
Yo, Chad, who's cuter, me or Shylily?
you know, opening up about what's going on. Oh fuck. I'm just sad that the feeling I had when they tried to recruit me is something that actually proved right. That it saddens me, dude. It fucking saddens me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gut feeling was right. Fuck me, dude. Your guts never lied, has it? My gut's been betraying me quite a bit. Every time much constipation I've had to go through.
I just don't want to get involved in any sort of dramatic stuff. I just, it's too much of a hassle. You know, I don't care enough about being a part of like the VTuber community to like really deal with it. It's just a pain. I already have a lot of shit to deal with, basically.
No, but jokes aside though, you can't always trust a gut feeling. I know I got a pretty solid gut feeling, but it's in the end of the day, it's just that.
Oh, by the way, her gut feeling about Vshojo was me saying, for the love of God, don't join Vshojo. That's okay. That'll be revealed later too, guys.
The fucking gut feeling.
Don't worry.
In the end of the day, it's just that it's still been plenty wrong or like overreacted, or you know, like I've been through stuff in life. Sometimes you hang on to red flags a bit too much, you know. Like it's a gut feeling for a reason. You can't always trust it. There's always something.
You want to know one thing about Vshojo though, is that they were very good at making it very tempting. Just like the amount of stuff that they were able to pull off, and like, regardless of, you know, I'm not talking necessarily about their financial skills or their ability to manage talent, But you have to admit, one thing they were very good at was spectacle. Right? Like, they were very good at, like, making themselves look so legitimate and, like, so, like they're up there with the, you know, like, they're a heavy hitter on the field. Like, they really, really made that they really created that feeling like, hey, like, you know, we're a big company and we're going to be able to do all of this shit for you, right? And, like, you look at that, and I could imagine people looking at them being like, holy shit, like, they have, like, contracts with, like, you know, they have, like, you know, shit in, like, the was it the Tokyo train station? They got, like, ads in Japan. Like, they got merch in Japan. They got hookups with, like, Good Smile and Nendoroid. Dude, I can imagine, like, if they presented you with that, you would be like, that was, like, your chance, right? To, like, really be up there on the world stage.
Strange when very big and reputable people leave, and that's when the pain chips, you know, and you're like, yeah, I'm so.
Apollo Namik says, why don't VTubers be independent? Well, there's a couple of reasons behind it. One, some people don't want that. Like, there's some people that they just want to stream and they don't want to deal with the business aspect of it, because there's, like, a lot of, like, other stuff that you have to worry about, like getting sponsors and etc. There's, like, all this other things that you have to worry about, you know, dealing with, like, having a manager really helps a lot. Producers, all of these resources are really good to kind of free up time in your day, so you have time to do other things, and pursue, like, kind of projects that you care about. Like, all of this is really helpful to have, and some people don't want to deal with, like, the payment aspect of it. They just want to, like, do their job, do their stream, and then get paid. They don't want to worry about the financial aspects of it, right? And so, like, these big corpos can, like, kind of sort of give you that feeling, and I think that's why people join them. One reason. The other reason is some people join them for camaraderie. For me, something like that would be the biggest appeal. I'm really drawn to that, like, the whole they have teammates, they have, like, I'm kind of like me, I like having teammates, and I don't like being the main character. I'm that kind of person. I just want to be, like, I want to play the healer role or something. I want to play, like, a support role. I'm like that. And so it's kind of the idea of having, like, you know, gen mates or something like that has always been appealing to me. So some people, that would be the reason, is that they want to be a part of a team, right? Like, they're the kind of more team oriented people, and they want to have that sort of, even if it's fake, people want to have that sort of feeling, right? And other reasons are it's just people don't have initiative. Or the other thing, there's one more reason, and the reason is financial, where getting started off is really expensive. Like especially, like, VTubing is gonna cost you, like, thousands to, like, actually get everything set up. I would know, because I'm getting ready to launch, like, another VTuber for, like, our company. So, like, I know about how expensive it can be. And some people don't have the money for that, so they want to join a place that will kind of take care of that for them, kind of like as an investment. And lastly, branding is the other thing. Like, some orgs have, like, big brands where if you join them, like, you can basically get catapulted. There's, like, kingmaker brands, basically, where you know, you could spend 2 years grinding in the double-digit views and pray that you get out of it, or you can join one of these orgs and instantly get to, like, 3-4, right? So that's it. We can say that we beat Vshojo. True. We've been. That's so true. That's actually so true. Total ass victory.
I'm gonna be asking Lily's gut for future decisions. Don't do that. Don't rely on other people's gut feelings. Make your own. It's been plenty wrong too.
I'm just gonna say this so the chat stops asking about it. Chat,
yes.
They're all gone. Everyone. Even the Japanese girls.
Good.
They're literally all gone. There is effectively no Vshojo anymore.
Good.
I think you're
Good.
Can we say that we beat Vshojo? Vshojo and, like, 10 VTuber True. True. True ass is still standing. That's so true.
That will think different about your solid guts.
You know what sucks about VTuber orgs and the streaming space? I was thinking about it, and I was thinking the VTubing space needs an organization by VTubers for VTubers.
That's me. Hey, that's us. That's what we do.
And then the more I thought about it, the more impossible I realize that that could never happen. It actually literally can never exist.
It's kind of true though. Like in the way that you would think about it. And the reason why Ask can exist like the way it does right now is because again, it's because I'm a psycho that doesn't care about money.
And the reason why that is, and I hate to say this, the VTubing online space is very bad because optimism and positivity and going along with the common opinion is kind of everybody. That's kind of all they do. Hence why Vshojo got away with so much shit for so long.
That's true.
Because the VTubing space is very gullible. They're very young. And the problem is that if an org were to ever exist, if any VTuber were to ever get into any issues, no matter how small, they would be excommunicated immediately because otherwise all the other girls or boys would suffer in these orgs. And I think for the future of the VTubing space, I think all organizations should be abolished.
So that's actually kind of true. And man, how do I talk about this? So it's actually true. That's actually true that the VTubing, and this is kind of why I'm not really like a part of the VTubing community, is a lot of it is very based on safety in terms of like, you do the right things, you say the right things, and then everyone will be your friend. And a good like example of this is look what happened to Kirsha, right? Like she didn't even say anything. Like she basically got excommunicado from was that Off-Kai Expo, right? For existing basically and having like opinions that made people sad. In fact, that was the reason that they used, is they said that they made their staff feel unsafe. So like certain members of their staff felt unsafe that Kirsha existed, basically. And this is actually very true, that a lot of the streaming world, and this isn't just VTubing, I mean, this is like, it's kind of like, it's not necessarily just VTubing, it's all of streaming, but VTubing is like very concentrated. Like, I don't know why it is. Like, I don't know why VTubing specifically is super like freaking hug box Care Bear. Like, if you know what I mean. It's just very, very, very hug boxy, right? And it's very, you be safe, you don't say anything weird, and everything will be okay and everyone will like you. And you can actually see this like in real time when there's some sort of controversy. Tell me this isn't true, chat. That the instant that anybody has any sort of like controversy, someone says something like slightly off, like something not 100%, you know, with the message, you see all of these, you know, just like mushrooms after the rain, you start to see all of the little VTubers. They come up out of the ground and they're just like, this person's a bigot, this person's the worst. They all come out, all of them, all out of Twitter, hundreds of them, right? Every single fucking time, right? Every single fucking time. And a lot of them don't even stream, but then they still come out for the little opinion, right? They're little, yeah, this person's the worst opinion. And they're all in lockstep. They're like the same organism, right? Yeah, it happens all the fucking time. And that's because there is value to be gained. And this is the reason. There is value to be gained, social capital to be gained by shitting on people. That's the entire, like, and like, if you were wondering like why I don't like I don't seem like I'm very integrated in the VTuber community, and it's 100% on purpose. If you're like, how come Leaflit doesn't like reach out to people as much and she doesn't want to like hang out with people? It's 100% on purpose. It's because there's a lot to be gained by stepping on other people in the VTubing world. And if you're the kind of person that kind of goes against the flow of water, against the stream, then you're going to have a bad time, right? You're going to have a bad time. And like, at some point, I just decided like, I'm not playing this game, right? I'm just not going to talk to people, like, fucking, right? And you could say that that's a bad thing, and it probably is a really bad thing, to be honest. This is not really a good trait. It's kind of how I've always coped with things, is like, whenever something happens, I just say, like, fuck it, I'm not going to deal with it, right? Like, whatever, ain't dealing with it. But where was I going with this? It's very hard to not be, like, safe in the VTubing community in particular, because people are very... You know what the best way to explain it is? It's like high school. That's the best way to explain it. It's like high school, and like you better not step out of line. Otherwise, you know, you just get bullied basically, right, by everybody. Rognar, thank you for the bits. Thank you. VTubing is extremely woman dominated. You know, I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but it's kind of true. But you know, when like the whole thing happened with you know, like the recent stuff that happened where like people were really mad at me because of you know, just the typical like, oh, like Leaflit's like a Nazi and stuff like that, like Leaflit hates trans people, like all that stuff, right? When all that stuff happened, I think I said this before, like I had known for a long time that we were getting a new VTuber for our company, and it was really, we've been working on it for a while. Like it's been a project that's been for a long time. Like we've been waiting for a lot of stuff before it happened, right? But I told them like when all of this happened, and you know, people were man, people were coming after my friends and telling them, "Oh, I can't," you know, and this is like VTubers, by the way, like this is like other VTubers. I can't believe like you're hanging out with Leaflit. She's a neo-Nazi, you know, transphobic, homophobic. How could you be friends with her, right? And so I told like the new talent that, you know, is like debuting soon. I told them like, hey, you know, you don't have to deal with this. I said, you know, I know we spent all this money and all of this time like setting up all this stuff, but you know, you don't have to. Like if it's like, I don't want you to have to deal with it. So it's up to you. No hard feelings. If you want to cancel, then it's fine. Don't worry about it. Like I'm not going to be mad or anything like that, right? Like you should just if you want, you don't have to go through with this. Like you don't have to like join like Angel Sword and stuff. You don't have to worry about it. And they told me like, I don't know the exact words, but they told me like, in order to have them leave me, in order for people to leave them alone, it would involve basically telling me that it would involve them basically having to admit, like have to say that I'm a bad person and never hang out with me again. And they said that was unacceptable. So they said they're staying. So at least I have some friends. That's the moral of the story is I have some friends. And also like some of my other friends like that got shitted on that are also VTubers, and they got shitted on by other VTubers basically for, you know, hanging out with Leaflit, the neo-Nazi, right? Like those people, they told them to fuck off, which is crazy. But so like there are good people in the VTubing community for sure. But there are also a lot of roaches, man, like Holy shit. And when it rains, it's like I said, man, when it rains, they all come out. They all come inside every single time.
And I think everybody should just be independent because there's too much AoE damage. There's way too much.
Yeah, the reason there's AoE damage is because of the roaches. Because there's so many of them, dude. And all they do is fucking bitch. They bitch. Dude, it's literally the female high school experience.
AoE damage. Like
It's
when
unreal.
I got into controversy, 5 of my VTubing friends were demanded by their community. So
This is exactly what I was saying.
are you cutting off Tectone or
Roadguard, thanks for the bits, man. Thank you.
not? Did you hear what he did? And I hated how many of
that's exactly how it is. If you're wondering, that is literally how the VTubing community is. He is not wrong. He's 100% telling the truth right now. Like, believe me.
my friends were put into an uncomfortable position because of something they didn't even do.
Yup.
So I actually think they all need to remain independent because the community is too rabid.
Because what happens then, right? This is what happens. Say you're not even involved with it, right? So say, we'll use Tectone for an example because he's like using himself as an example here. Let's say that like Tectone said something spicy, right? They're friends with VTuber A, and VTuber A is in a group or a corporation with VTubers B and C, right? And then say VTuber A says, yeah, you guys are dumb. Tectone's like not a bad person. You guys are dumb. What they're gonna do then is, because it doesn't affect VTuber A, because VTuber A is like, don't care, he's my friend. What they're gonna do is they're gonna target VTuber B and C, who are members of the group of VTuber A, and they're gonna say, oh, so you guys approve of the Tectone thing, and they have no idea what's going on. Like, what the fuck? I don't even know who Tectone is, right? But then now they're involved in it because they're in the group with VTuber A. So these people they'll attack the target that is the most opportunistic for them, and when the attack fails, they'll go around and they'll find another target.
It is. It's an uncomfortable truth. Now, they're rabid negatively, but they are also rabid positively.
Mermaid Hina says, when people said that about, I actually got some of my Angels Studios and said to some of their faces that I am trans and I'm one of the VIPs, and she knows I'm trans. She's not transphobic. I'm not. I'm really not. That's like the funny thing is I'm actually not transphobic. Like, actually. It's like, it's ridiculous. Thank you, Hina.
Which means if there is like someone like Iron Mouse who's doing something good, they'll dogpile on that. But if there's anything negative as well, they'll also dogpile on that. It's a double-edged sword, unfortunately. But I was actually thinking about it, and I think it actually is better for the space if there are no VTubing orgs. I think light, loose friend groups are good, but I also think that the VTubing space really needs to break out more and do more things with real streamers. Because right now the VTubing space has re-become very niche, where it did have the opportunity to open up and be mainstream, but then they kind of just stuck to their roots and did what they need to do. I think right now that everything's independent, I mean, all VTubers orgs do is fucking nothing. I know, Lucari. They need to do more things with more regular streamers. Because right now it really is factions, and they need to break out and do more shit with real streamers 100%.
Yeah, I think so too.
A lot of VTubing is kind of stuck in the basically the Japanese idol model. Basically, a lot of it is like kind of stuck in that.
Dude, like being greedy is one thing, which was my biggest issue.
But being greedy and stupid, that's even worse.
And the things I've heard that go on in within. Because, you know.
Tectone wants to do more collabs with VTubers. I'm not doing any collabs with VTubers until 3 months from now. Unless they reach out to me first.
Employees leave, and if they
That
don't...
being said, I am down to do anything with anybody, as long as they reach out to me first. But in 3 months, I'll be reaching out to a lot of people.
make them sign do not compete, well, those employees can talk. Dude, I thought it was a bit cringe how people literally had absolutely zero comprehension.
This is guys. I like Tectone. He's a really nice guy. I'm just very shy. Like, I'm not good at social stuff. Like, to be honest, I'm not good. You know who I will be collabing with though a lot is the new VTuber. The new VTuber I'll be collabing with a lot. But yeah, I'm not really good at it, man. Like, I'm not good at being social, right? I'm just not. Yeah.
You're covering Tectone.
Right. I have mommy. I'm a tangent too much. You know me. Dude, my mom. Look at my mom, dude. She comes in here. Dude. My mom treats me like a Mihono bourbon, dude. Like, actually, yeah, she came in here. She's like, "You're way off topic. You're talking about Tectone right now," and I'm like, I tangent too much. You know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Crazy or Julio can cut it out. They can cut it out. I'm just content cop. I'm sorry, content cop.
Comprehension and just like tried to make the situation either into a funny or literally into a drama or rage bait. That was so.
Tectone, I'm down to do whatever with you. Don't worry. I will always be there. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I didn't say anything.
Yes, trainer.
Yes, I said you were covering Tectone.
Oh, I'm covering. I thought you were.
I didn't say anything about talking.
I thought you were
about
talking.
Tectone.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, you said you're talking. You're covering. You're like you told me I was talking about the Tectone thing.
No, I said you're covering Tectone.
Okay, well, when you say listen, when you say I'm covering something, that has two different meanings.
Like literally, you were covering.
Okay, but you didn't say literally. You said you're covering. So like, yes, I am covering Tectone's. I am covering Tectone's video right now, right?
The Kari group blackface stream. Let's get it done, boys. Me, you, Canute. All blackface.
Wait,
and you
what?
whiteface.
Wait, what did I miss? Wait, that escalated quickly. What the
Don't
fuck?
worry.
Into a funny or literally into a drama or rage bait. That was so.
Tectone, I'm down to do whatever with you. Don't worry. I will always be there. Okay. All right, the Kari group blackface stream. Let's get it done, boys. Me, you, Canute. All blackface. And you whiteface. We'll role swap for a day. It'll be dope.
Uncool. I was like, brother, that was
Honestly, that would be fucking hilarious.
that was so uncool. Yeah. Fucking literal Twitter meme. Like, some people have to literally be dead ass sometimes. It's like, brother,
That would be fucking hilarious.
You're probably like 11 years old. I want to say it's okay, but it really isn't. But like, I hope eventually over time you'll learn when it's the right time to be a dumbass and to be quote unquote funny and when not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mad cringe. Yeah, I hope Miles gets everything she is owed. Sorry, let me catch you up to date. We open a can of worms. It's one of those topics that will be impossible to not talk about when like the entire foundation that is the Western VTubing will be talking about this. I'll look like a fucking clown if I pretend nothing's going on, bro.
Yeah.
But super long story short, Miles addressed some concerns of.
The VTubing community also labels any real issues as drama way too much and will like guilt streamers from talking about anything that's serious.
Well, okay.
Which is
Okay, so on that topic, it depends on the stream. So there's a little bit of pushback here. So the truth is, some people specifically watch VTubers because of the fantasy of it being anime, and sometimes people don't want it when people are actually delving into like stuff that is based in reality, because the reason that they watch the VTubers is for the fantasy. Does that make sense? So I don't think there's anything wrong with people that want to adhere to that and kind of want to do a more idle approach and not have any sort of real commentary on like things that are going on. That being said, like obviously, like I am the type that does comment on stuff that happens in reality as well. But I can see why people wouldn't want to do that.
why they have to say, oh God, the drama frogs are here. Oh God, drama bad. But it's like, brother, people getting people informed on the bad shit that's happening isn't drama. That's current events. People making...
Yeah, but some people don't want that from streamers, right? Like, even with me, a lot of my old community doesn't like me anymore because I talk about like current events. They just wanted me to like be a VTuber. You know.
Issues out of nothing. Those are the people that are the problem. Those are the people that are the problem.
And I can understand it. Like I can understand wanting to not, because reality sucks. Like let's be real. Like reality is a fucking circus right now and it sucks so much ass. So like some people, they want to escape and they don't want to even think about it, right? Which is like, I understand that completely. And if you're like that, you can check out my guildmate Yuri.
Wow!
There it is, yes.
Vshojo,
Plug.
and how Vshojo is owing people large amounts of money, amongst those people being 500,000 that is owed to the
Smooth
Immune
plug,
Deficiency
thank you.
Foundation. Immune. You know what I mean, sorry. They owe her directly to, yes, but we don't know what they owe to each other talent. We know for a fact they owe to the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
Yeah.
Literally fucking.
Julio says it's so stupid that some people think all VTubers are the same thing. VTuber is literally a streamer with a PNG instead of a face cam. Yeah, and I think the reason why it's like that is because of the whole roots in idol culture, right? Like a lot of the VTubing kind of started. VTubing, you know, as we know it, came out of Japan, and there's a lot of like the idol culture behind it, and that is how a lot of people see it. And people don't like that. Some people don't.
Sucks. And also, I made a tweet opening up about them recruiting me in 2023. Let me just talk real quick about this because I opened a can of worms. Nothing that I didn't expect. I absolutely did hope that, you know, it would make a splash because that splash in exchange will hopefully fund the engagement and help ultimately the donation link to the actual charity. So that was, you know, calculated. If you can turn a shit situation.
I also think that like Shylily is like, she gets so much
She's really good at piloting her avatar, by the way.
negative press for no reason. She gets so much shit for just sounding like another VTuber. And I think it's like the people who believe this shit that she's putting on a voice are just completely retarded. Like I've literally hung out with this chick.
Also, there's nothing wrong with that anyway. You can do VTubing as voice acting. Like, who cares?
So many
But
times.
I don't know. Some people have just retarded. I don't understand why people have absolutely fucking retarded. Like when it comes to VTubers, they just go full retard. Like they don't. They have some view of like how VTubing should be, and that like nobody else should be able to do something different. Again, like what Julio said earlier, VTubing is just a medium of creativity, right? Like, so dumb.
In real life, I've talked to this chick so many times offline, right? This isn't somebody putting on a voice, but to say that Shylily's fake because all she did was copy insert VTuber here, and VTubers being so self-obsessed that they actually believed it just because she's successful, and they want to believe anything to take her down a couple pegs is so...
Yeah, because it's easier to... The reason why... I'm gonna woman-splain some stuff to you guys, all right? The reason why is because it is significantly easier to take her down a peg than it is to raise yourself up. It's easier to shit on Shylily and then therefore equalize the playing field in terms of like your position than it is to actually rise up yourself. And that's why they do it.
So fucking dumb. Shylily really is one of the best. She's on my Mount Rushmore.
Basic woman social dynamics. Yes, exactly. That's why it was woman-splaining.
VTuber streamers, by the way. She is one of the best VTubers in the space. So all of the bullshit she gets is just so unwarranted, and it's so cringe, and it's all driven by jealousness and pettiness, and that's just the truth.
Into something helpful, I always will. But Vshojo reached out to me in 2023, asking me if I want to join at the end. I think it was at the end, and I don't want to be too uneducated. I can just check. Hold up, before I say shit. I think it was the end of 2023. But I can check. I can literally just check. Okay, it was summer, so.
What's your Mount Rushmore of VTubers? Nanners, Aethel, Shylily, Old Snuffy.
It was the second half of the year of 2023. And before I say anything, I've already seen some like weird ass drama schizos, some like neglected
Old Snuffy? Yeah, the one with the massive jugs.
freaking brain rotten people try and, you know, already drama.
Why not New Snuffy? Because New Snuffy says she doesn't like the sexualization of her model. And I think that's what VTubing is all about, is having big old fat
What?
boobs. That's what I think, man.
What is it? Situation of like, so nice of you to let other people run into the fucking fire. Vshojo does.
Mouse isn't there? No. She took too much money away from me from her subathon. And that makes me mad. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Tectone is just memeing, guys. Like, he's kind of like Asmon. Like Asmon, like memes, and he just like says shit that's like so ridiculous, but like it's like obviously it doesn't mean that.
She took way too much money from me by doing those subathons, man. I'm pissed.
And send out fucking newsletters of people who are about to join to the entirety that is the VTubing scene. I don't fucking know who's joining, brother. On top of that, my contract that I called legal robbery,
Can we
and I
say
will
that
stand
this
by
will be
this.
the end of corpo VTubers in the US?
No, I don't
At
think
this point,
so.
I can't see VTubers willing to take the risk anymore.
No, I
Also,
don't
much
think
love
so.
to Mouse and all other Vshojo
Yes, much
talents
love to
that
them.
been affected.
Anyway, I'm gonna pause stuff for now. Yeah, me and TJ will talk about it. Pause. I don't waste your money. Shut up. But when a few of the talents walked out, a little while after, they recruited people. I was amongst one of those people I tried to recruit. We got to the contract negotiation phase, which is where everything fell apart because I strongly disagree
Talk about how shit the contracts are.
with the contract. It was very greedy, very exploitative of my assets. And
Say
before
what
I
they were
say
gonna
anything
take.
more, again, those weird
Say how they were going to take a cut of your sub revenue and your merch money. Say how they were going to take a cut of everything for no reason. Please say it on camera. For the love of God, say it.
schizo fucking, I don't know what the fuck's mentally wrong with them. Those non-medication having schizos
on.
on Twitter. Just because I disagree with a contract doesn't mean I have to go around the fucking world and literally commit slander, which, by the way, defamation is literally fucking illegal. And like,
Wait, what?
go be a fucking drama frog. Just because I don't like a contract and it's robbing me doesn't mean that A, other people are getting the same contract, and
That's true, yeah.
B, doesn't mean that other people disagree with it as much.
Come on, say it.
They try to monetize my assets that I
Wait, you guys wanna? Never mind.
worked
I'm not
for.
gonna say that.
Like, I can also tell you right now, flipping burgers at McDonald's isn't the way to go, and people will still fucking apply. What does that say about anything? Everyone has a different level of sacrifice they're willing to commit to. That level of sacrifice was not something I was willing to commit to at all whatsoever. But everyone's different, bro. Everyone's fucking
defamation
different.
was true? No.
So let me go into more detail and explain what the frick is going on. When they reached out, I was very, very, very particular about what I want and what I have to offer and my worth. And when they reached out, the person who reached out, bless them, they are an absolute sweetheart.
You're welcome.
An absolute sweetheart. They promised the fucking world. They had this big ass, long ass meeting and promised the world. Like this, they had this like massive PowerPoint. Hold up. I can't check how long, but it's very long. We had this super long call. It doesn't say how long. But we had this super massive long call of like everything they offer, which was all the way from, you know, legal advice, shows. It was just a whole lot of stuff. Shit else receipts.
Yep.
Bro, nah, I'm not gonna dox everyone who was in the call at that time. But I do need a mental
That is the worst thing. We're like, oh, bro, you need to show proof of this one thing that you absolutely cannot show. It's like, brother,
Yeah.
they scammed $500,000 from charity. Do you think they wouldn't have scummy contracts? Every talent has confirmed that they all got fucked monetarily. Do you think they wouldn't have a scummy contract? These people are so dumb.
pressure real quick.
So yeah, they stole $500,000 from charity, guys. Like, are we surprised?
Hold up. Let me mute everything. They had this like beautifully crafted thing of like how Vshojo operates, first of all, how they're true to their values, their tech team, and all the strong finances. They were showcasing all the events they can do for me. Online, offline, organization-based projects like project management, third-party support, blah blah blah. Online events such as debuts, coordinating of contractors, hype and marketing, media assets and whatnot. They have case studies on all the things they have been doing, such as the Minecraft server and what they're doing for that, IRL stuff and VIRL stuff, backpacking and whatnot. For which talents they did this for, what debut events they have been doing, what concerts, birthday concerts, offline events, online events, all the highlight videos they have for those online events, consultations, international relationship industry, public relations, finance, security, DMCA takedowns, copyright, escalation systems, interviews, blah blah blah, PR management, interviews, takedowns with like all kinds of teams that they work with, helping with commissioning, games, collabs, blah blah blah, support in voice acting, scheduling support, even lessons for like other stuff, mental health and therapy, merchandise, merch production. And then we got to the point, and that was all beautiful. That was where everything, this is where everything is like, holy shit.
Well, that's how they honey dick you, right? They get you excited. You read like the top 30 things, like, oh, that's really good. And
you can tell she knows business, yeah.
Because they think you've stopped.
She sounds like she's really, really good. She has like a lot of business sense.
Reading.
This is insane. Also, just as a context reminder, when Vshojo opened their applications, way before that, I applied. It actually made it past the first wave, and then never heard anything back. Ever. Never ever. So, needlessly to say, it was, first of all, it was my long-lived dream to join Hololive. They didn't want me, or rather, never looked at my application or anything. Yeah, this is before I debuted, by the way. This is a long time ago. I wanted to join Hololive. Never heard back from them, or anything like it.
Good.
So, when I saw that the Vshojo girls had so much fun, and they were such a tight-knit group, and like, collabs and hangouts, and they looked like the most beautiful people. And
see, that's what I said, like that part is so, it's so appealing.
Planet to me. So I applied. Didn't make it very far. Made it like past the
It sure did look good from the outsiders looking in, huh?
first or second, I don't remember. Past the first phase for sure. And then I just kind of got ghosted. They looked like beautiful. I was like, whoa, like my heart was like, I really wanted to be part of those girls. Like it was just perfection, you know? I was like, dude, I fit right in. And yeah, then.
Yeah, she sounds just like Vebe. She fits right in, guys.
Wait, what?
Far later,
I don't get it.
eventually
That
at
was a
some point,
joke.
they reached out
I
at
didn't
the
get it.
almost peak of my career, and they were trying to hire me.
Oh, there's I see. I never mind. I get it now. They were saying that like they're saying that like about her voice basically.
So they were giving me this whole presentation of what they can do for me, which was great and all. But then we came to a list of things that are very important.
But a lot of like VTubers sound like that though. Like a lot of like a lot of big VTubers have that sort of sound. To be honest,
To me, I can run down the list. Super.
yeah, I feel like it's very. I think a lot of people really like the way that sounds, like the way that I guess they're comparing like Lily and Vebe. Like a lot of people like that sort of sound profile for like a voice for like female entertainers.
Is Vay still mad about that? Vay's always mad, guys.
Wait, mad about
Easy to
what?
find. I don't have the list saved.
Wait, mad about what? Earlier in her career, she was accused of copying Vay's what? Was there like some drama about that? Wait, was Vay mad at her? Vay was the one who accused her of copying her voice. Yeah, because because that yo pre-grand thanks for the gift sub. Thank you, man. Yeah, because totally that way of speaking that is of peak aesthetic quality for a lot of men that watch VTubers. Yeah, because that only one person can own that, right? That's so weird. If it wasn't Vay accusing Shy, okay, well, who was it then? It was just people, basically. It was like people in the community. Vay was okay. You know, I don't know enough about this. I don't know what's true. I'm getting like conflicting information in chat. So, I can't stand California accent. Belief is too base to not agree. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Jeez, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, what if I just talk like this? You want me to talk like this? Suspicious Inquisitor.
I know who I send it to. So if you give me
Is that better? Are you okay now with that? Yeah?
a hot moment, I can't find the list. So I have a list of like non-negotiable.
Let me just /ban Leaflit. Oh, right. Julio plays Blue Archive. All right, I got you, Julio. Hello, my name is Leaflit.
Values.
I don't think she sounds like Vebe. Vebe does. You had to be there, guys. You had to be there.
Absolutely, entirely, without a doubt, non-negotiable. Absolutely not. Okay, this is a big ass list. I also noted some red flags that I noticed right away. But keep in mind, those are when I at this stage of the contract, when I call them red flags, it is more so. I've been dealing with contracts for a while at this point in my career. Lots of contracts are. I hate this word so much. Standard.
Julio says I can't really respond to that. Oh well.
Contracts. So things you can negotiate.
Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for the soup heaven. Thank you. Ooh.
You can negotiate, right?
I can't keep doing it. It's annoying.
The biggest contract was the revenue share. I did not like how their revenue splits with merchandise.
She talks about it?
And similar things. I'm not gonna go through the whole list
Go through the whole thing. Talk about it. Talk about it.
Detail. It is literally like a 2-page fucking doc, bro. But they wanted too much revenue share. Way too much.
Talk about it.
That was absolutely not it. And the money they offered me in exchange for taking this much of my revenue was just not even
Context. OTK, AMP, C9, phase. They take 0% of a creator's money. Vshojo is taking a cut of everything.
Wait, hold on. They take 0. How do they make money then? Wait, what?
Absolutely not it. And the money they offered me in exchange for taking this much of my revenue was just not even
That's not 0 though. Wait, dude, that's a little bit misleading to say that they take 0% of the money, but then they're taking the merch revenue and they're taking and sponsor revenue. That is taking money. Am I wrong? Like, what am I misunderstanding here?
Context. OTK, AMP, C9, phase. They take
phase as in phase, like FAZE, not phase connect.
0% of a creator's money. Vshojo is taking a cut of
not merch sold by creators. Wait, what do you mean then? What do you mean? OGK makes their own company merch and then they sell that. So their business model is the brand of the group, and then they own the IP of the group. There's a catch if they say we take 0. Yeah, it just doesn't seem right. For example, they make OTK shirt, not Ms. shirts. Okay, you know what though? To be honest, that's really hard for that's really hard for a small org, honestly. Now I'm thinking about it. Like, could we even do that? I don't even know if we could do that. To be honest, like, only survive off of company-wide merch? I don't think that's possible. It would have to be like branded merch of like the talents.
Everything the girls earn. I am hoping to God she can confirm this for me. I am hoping to God she can confirm this. Please talk about it. Please talk about it.
That was an insult.
Okay. Yeah, like I don't know how would you do that? Like, that doesn't make sense. It would be hard for a small, like, how would we do that? I don't think it'd be possible to offset the costs of like support staff through only company merch. It would have to at least be some branded merch of a character merch. At least it would have to be some of that, you know. Do you know how much revenue they would get? I mean, I don't know. I think the idea is the merch wouldn't have been made without the company. It's not taking a cut of value of creation. I see. So like they're I think that would be fine. Is if like the person, well, I mean, at the same time, you'd probably have to have an agreement that like the person would also have to advertise for your merch as well, because there would have to be incentive, right? I don't know. Like I feel like I'm gonna be real. I don't think there's anything wrong with. I don't think there's anything wrong with a revenue percentage cut, but like as long as it's not a lot, right? Like if it's like over 50%, that's fucking insane, right? Like it would have to be like a small amount, really. It would only take a cut if they bring value. Yeah. I mean, but the thing is it's kind of hard to quantify. It's hard to so it's okay. So let me explain something. Okay, for VTubers, it's a little bit different. I'm just trying to be fair here. Like I'm actually, again, like since like I run a company, I kind of know a little bit about like VTubing in particular, right? VTubing is like, so if you're talking about like a org or like a streamer like person, it's a lot cheaper to have, and also the identity is more tied to the person, right? So if you have a in real life person, they would just need like their camera, their streaming setup, and then that's it, right? But for VTubers, you need all sorts of shit, just because of like the style of VTubing. Like you need like assets, right? Like you need the model, like that's really expensive. The art's really expensive. You're gonna need emotes. You're gonna need branded emotes, branded. You're gonna have to purchase art for merchandise. You're gonna need music. You're gonna need panels, backgrounds. Like there's so much stuff that you need because it's a character, right? So like character branded merch, and that's all expensive to make. Didn't the Vshojo girls get to own their own models? Yes, I think so. Yeah, but I don't think Leaflit Vshojo makes unfair greedy VTuber merch percentage over 60%. It's absolutely ridiculous. Well, it depends. So like, guys, when you're making merch, there's a lot of there is a lot of risk involved with, how do I explain it? There's a lot of risk involved in making merch, and sometimes you don't make merch to specifically make a lot of money. And that might sound like really retarded, but like, how do I explain it? So sometimes you do endeavors when it comes to like VTubing, and I'm sure this applies to like regular streaming. But it's a little bit different if you're like Tectone or Asmongold, right? But if you're like an entertainment type person, sometimes it's worth it to do an endeavor, but the purpose isn't to make money. The purpose is for like exposure or like brand recognition, right? So for instance, like if you did like a music project, right? It's probably not gonna make that much, right? Like early. Or if you get like a really nice like model, or like you do like a promo video, it's not gonna really make money right away. It's more like you do those as investments for the future, right? So when you have cases of a company working like from the beginning with a VTuber and like kind of setting up like a lot of stuff for them and putting a lot of resources into it, the company is putting resources into that VTuber at a loss with the understanding that like it might get better later. Does that make sense? So it is a risk to do that, and that's the reason why you would want a percentage, right? Because you're an investor. Think of it as like you're an investor in like that specific thing. It's a standard business. Yeah, which is why like I don't know if I agree with that. Like that it's a bad thing in general. It's like take any percent. Like obviously like there's a percent that's like too much and there's a percent that's too little, right? Obviously there's like a negotiation that like has to take place there, right? But I don't think that necessarily taking a percent is a bad thing.
It was an insult. The money they said they would provide me with each month
Yeah.
for stuff like concerts,
I have a feeling, like, I was really worried about talking about this stuff, honestly, because I have a feeling merch is another resource to put your brand out there. It is a hassle. Only people who is really big make decent money off of merch people. Yeah, yes. So like if you're like a smaller content creator, merch for the proportion of like so some merch does really well, and then some is like more you have it just to have it. Because it's a staple product that like you would associate with anime, right? So I was really worried about talking about this because I knew I was going to have a different point of view as a company owner. And like, I'm not perfect. Like I'm kind of not really that good myself, right? Apparently I'm better than Vshojo though. But anyway, what I'm saying is that I'm kind of worried that people are gonna get mad at me because I have a little bit more nuance in my point of view, basically.
assets, commissions, whatever. It was an insult. With
How much percent? Well, it's scaled based on how big you were or how
Johnny,
small
thank
you
for the
were
sub.
when you
Thank
joined the company.
Thank you. Wait, what do you say?
Well, it's scaled based.
that they would provide me with each month
Yeah.
for stuff like concerts, models, assets, commissions, whatever. It was an insult. With
How much percent? Well, it's scaled based on how big.
Wait, what?
Please talk about it.
that was an insult. It was an insult.
What was an insult?
She can confirm this for me.
on.
Percent of a creator's money. Vshojo is taking a cut of everything the girls earn. I am hoping to God she can confirm this for me. I am hoping to God she can confirm.
See, like that's the thing I'm trying to say is like, I don't necessarily think that's bad if the amount is right. Right? Like I think that there's an amount there that would be fair, that like you're providing support and investment. So like kind of like with the horse, right? Is a kind of a bad example, like to compare like, you know, to compare people to horses, but it's kind of like that in a sense where like you're putting money in as an investment. So like you would expect a percentage return because there's also the chance that like they brick, right? And then they don't make anything. You lose everything, right?
This. Please.
That's average, to be honest. Management in the music industry is basically the same. Yeah, Elfie would know about it because Elfie works in the music industry. So like, is it not? So it's pretty average that like the management agency would make a percentage, right? That's normal, right? How is it different? It's kind of the same. It's like entertainment. Yeah, it would depend on the amount. Like obviously, right? Like there's an amount that's greedy, and then it would make it bad, right? Two-Face, thank you for the follow. Thank you. You'll always be someone's reason to get angry, just like how you'll always be someone's reason to jerk off. What? Music labels take a cut of everything. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah. It makes sense, right? Like as long as the cuts are fair.
Please talk about it.
That was an insult.
This is why, like, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with a percentage being a bad thing inherently. That's my point here.
An insult. The money they said they would provide me with each month
Yeah.
for stuff like concerts, models, assets, commissions, whatever. It was an insult. With
How much percent? Well, it's scaled based on how big you were or how small you were when you joined the company, right? So if you're smaller, they can get away with taking more. The highest I've heard is 60%. The lowest I've heard is 30%. So it's scaled based on how big you were before you joined.
how much they take, it's an insult. I also didn't like how they kept calling 50-50 splits. That was a genuine red flag because they kept calling 50-50 splits the what was the word? Industry standard. Any
50-50 on lit.
How much is it, LV? How much is standard for music industry? Do you know? Yeah, 50-50 is a lot. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on how much support. See, this is what I mean. It depends how much like investment is required for the person, right? Because I think there's even a world where 50-50 is fair. I think there is a world in which that could be fair. It would depend on the circumstances, right? LV says between 18 to 20. Yeah, 18 to 20 seems like normal. Yeah.
Holy shit! 50-50?
Isn't YouTube 45-55? I'm not sure actually.
The industry standard is 15. It is 85.
Yeah, 50 seems like a lot. It definitely seems like a lot. It would take an extreme circumstance for 50 to be justified. Like, it would need to be like, okay, so like here would be a case where like 50 would be justified, right? Where you're like, okay, listen, like we're managing like the money in a way. So we'll take 50%, but then like we'll do everything. Like literally like your sponsorships lined up, set up, like go. Yeah, we'll have like concerts for you and all that. Like if they actually provided all of those services to like a good level, because guys, in the end, one thing I think is important is in the end, the numbers don't matter. Like, don't get caught up in like the whole numbers thing. The important part is that you're providing value that is equal to the percentage that you're taking. As in, like, it is worth it for the person to do it. And like, you're providing enough value for that amount to be justified. That's basically it, right?
Creator, 15 to the middleman. That is the industry standard. 50-50 is psychotic. I told
50 is really
everybody
fucking
about
high.
the robot village, did I not?
50 is really fucking high though. Like, yeah,
Now-
you would need to really provide a lot for that to be justified. No, the problem, like, okay, there's one problem here though, and the problem is, no, that's too complicated. Never mind.
Shylily's a part of Mythic. Mythic,
Sunset Research says, buy Vshojo, hire all the talent back with no language restrictions, let them off the hook. Do I seem rich to people? What? I don't have that kind of money.
takes somewhere to 10
Also, I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather buy Umas. I'd rather buy like full horse Umas and then like race them. That would be sick.
20%, depending on the deal. Industry standard is 15. If Vshojo took 50 on top of Mythic taking 15, if Vshojo was taking a cut from her Gamer Subs deal as well, that's gotta be a lawsuit. That has to be a lawsuit.
Corporate that hires you and always puts emphasis on industry standard,
Yep.
run. Run. First of all, 50-50 is not the industry standard.
It's not.
It is not.
It is not.
Absolutely not.
1585 is the industry standard.
No. It should
15 company, 85 creator.
be much closer to, you know, and like some people get as low as 20%, 15 or 10.
W confirmed. W layup and dunk. Easy. Jesus, it's so easy.
50-50 is abysmal.
It's
Also,
insane.
That's
third-party
100
deals
drunk
was
man. Thank
also
you.
the biggest red flag.
What is
They
it?
wanted 5% on third.
Abusive Asia has 50% standard in America. That's not standard. You know what? I can totally see that being the case. That Japan, like Japan would take 50% for the corpse. I can totally see that.
Party deals. I wanted them to negotiate it down to 0.
The problem is in a lot of these scenarios, there's like quite a power dynamic in terms of like you have a lot of cases where there's a lot of like young, desperate girls, and the idea of like achieving some sort of stardom is like huge to them, and they can do it very quickly through you, right? So then you could demand a lot. They have a lot of power. They have a lot of power, and like the industry is in a lot of demand, so they have all the keys.
If you don't know what third-party deals are, third-party deals is stuff that they have nothing to do with. It's me doing stuff. Mine.
Honestly, like you want to know like the smart thing to do with these kind of companies, honestly, if you're like kind of just starting out and you have like those big corpos that are like kind of fucking you over, the best thing to do is to use them to catapult yourself and then quit. Honestly.
Vshojo even wanted a cut of the revenue Lily was bringing in herself. By the way, everything I said a couple of days ago has now been 100% confirmed. I love this woman so much. I love this woman. They said, yeah, you made money, and yeah, we did nothing to get that to you, but we want our cut. That's fucking insane.
If Mythic brings me an offer, they want 5% on top of Mythic's. Like what? Nah, so I was like, negotiate this down to 0.
Wait, what? If she obtains hold on, she obtains a sponsorship on her own, then they want a cut of that? What? What the fuck? See, and here's the problem is like in that case, right? And this is what I said, guys, again, that it's not about the percentage, it's not about the money, it's about value. So in that case, right, where you did all that to yourself, like you're the one who is working with another company and then you get a sponsorship, but then they want a little cut off the bottom without providing any benefit. That's kind of fucking weird. Right? See, that's where it's kind of like, wait, what? That's kind of fucked up, right?
One thing that...
What the fuck? We didn't do anything, but we want your money.
Exactly.
Bro, what? It's like Vshojo was like a fucking mafia, bro.
Wasn't a red flag at first. I also told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away. Literally, stay the fuck away. And at first they were like, sure, fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it and they were like, for the time being, yes, until we renegotiate the contract. I was like, no, stay the fuck away.
Wait, what?
Told them, stay the fuck away from gamer subs. Stay the fuck away. Literally, stay the fuck away. And at first they were like, sure, fair. But then they tried to be dodgy about it and they were like, for the time being, yes, until we renegotiate the contract. I was like,
They wanted like her company stuff too?
No, stay the fuck away. No renegotiation. And
you want to know something that, okay, I'm gonna tell you, so this is not really like directly related, but it's kind of a gaming industry thing. If you've ever worked in like gaming industry or any sort of artistic industry, there's a thing where when you first join, you declare works that you declare previous works that have nothing to do with you joining. And the reason why you do that is so that you can tell them, do not take a claim of this because I already made this before I joined you. So this has nothing to do with like the benefits of like me joining you. This had already existed prior. And like I did that when I started working at Riot. I had a card game that I had developed and I had that down, and I had some tabletop stuff that I developed, and I had both of those on my file that basically said that they can't touch it because it has nothing to do with them, right? And it's like, why would they take something that they aren't a part of? Really, that's kind of weird.
the excuse for this was, as part of Vshojo and part of the brand name, part of the income and opportunities that come my way are due to Vshojo in my name. And I said, no, all of these things are stuff I did myself.
That's
you don't
insane.
touch it. So yeah, the biggest red flags were, one of them was they refused to go down to 0% third-party deal fees. Again, third-party means Mythic gets me a sponsor and Vshojo isn't touching it. I get myself something, I don't want Vshojo to fucking touch it.
Yep.
And they couldn't let go of that. They just couldn't.
Real quick. So once again, I was proven right about everything that I said. So if you guys just have a moment, I would like for you all to acknowledge me. Yeah, I would like to be.
There.
acknowledged
I did it. I paid
as
my tax.
once again
I
the
paid my
man
tax, Tectone. I
who's
did it.
telling you all this shit. These aren't prediction, guys. These aren't predictions. These are spoilers.
I said if you have involvement, I said if you're involved in any of these and help out, you can have maximum 5% based on involvement. But if there's no involvement, it's 0, and they refused.
That seems really fair. That seems really fair. If you're involved in it, then you get a cut. Right? That seems fair to me. Like, so wait, they want to take money when they're not providing value. That's kind of weird.
By far biggest red flag. I say this now, but maybe later on I will get reminded of something else. The by far biggest red flag. The two, sorry, that kind of intertwined. The by far biggest red flag was I asked them to sign a non-compete based on gut feeling and hunches I may have had from rumors that have made their rounds. I asked them to sign a non-compete between them and Mythic. Let me explain what this means. A non-compete means that if Mythic gives me sponsors. So what Mythic is, so Mythic Talents, I'm part of Mythic Talents, which is this
Mythic Talent, the greatest ad agency in North America. Damn, that's aura. I love
Damn.
everybody who's a part of Mythic Talent. This is big.
Same as UTA in other places.
Girl, how do you join that thing? How do you join that?
They give you sponsors. Vshojo's talents have also been part of mostly UTA. Long story short, what they do is they read
I'm too much of a brand risk.
my inbox, they pass on the sponsors, they negotiate sponsors for me.
Yep.
They give me sponsors. I ask Vshojo to sign, to add or sign a non-compete clause in the contract. What are sponsors? It's when a game pays you to play the game. Or, so I was like, sign a
Do you guys know how sponsors work? What you do when you're a sponsor agency is you go to Twitch Tracker or their analytics.
Tectone Lily said you can DM them for it, really?
Lily, over the past 30 days, has an average of 7,141 viewers. The way
I'm probably not big enough, to be honest.
sponsors work is for every hour, they pay you $1 per viewer based on your average 30-day CCV. So it's an average of 7,140.
All right.
Lily, over the past, go to Twitch Tracker or their analytics. Lily, over the past 30 days, has an average of 7,141 viewers. The way sponsors work is for every hour, they pay you $1 per viewer
Yep.
based on your average 30-day CCV.
Yep. That's actually 100% correct.
So when Lily does a 2-hour sponsor,
That's how much I ask for, unless I really like the game. Then I might ask for less. Actually, I should go check my bids. I totally forgot to do that.
she's netting somewhere between 14,000 all the way up to 18,000 because it can go from 0.8 to
Mo Jelly One says you negotiate your own sponsors. Yes, I'm the owner of the company. I do everything.
1.2. Okay. So every single time Lily would do a sponsor, Vshojo, what they were trying to do was, oh yeah, every single time you do
I don't do everything by myself. I either do it myself or I leave it to my contractors that are like really good. Like LV and Julio and stuff.
a sponsor that we did nothing to help you with, you're going to give us $1,000. Why? No reason, but you owe it to
My
us.
staff members.
Why do you owe it to us?
By the way, that's like the main reason you would pay for it. You would have like that's like the main thing a corpo would do for you, is like provide you with like management, production stuff, right? So, yeah, which costs money.
Oh, it's just industry standard. To even more
Did you say slaves, Julio? Man,
so, to go further, what they were really trying to do was, let's say Lily did a sponsor and they did the original 50-50 deal. Oh, every sponsor you do, we get $10,000 of your money.
Wait, what?
Why? Sponsor
Wait.
you owe it to us? Oh, it's just industry standard. To even more so, to go further, what they were really trying to do was, let's say Lily did a sponsor and they did the original 50-50 deal. Oh, every sponsor you do, we get $10,000 of your money. Why? Oh, that's just what the industry does. Absolutely not. Now,
I guess it depends what they would give them back, which is like, we know obviously we know now because of all the evidence that they didn't really do anything. But like again, I can see a world in which that would work. It would just have to be like an insane value that you would give the person.
let me tell you what industry standard is.
Like for instance, right? If they took 50%, but they're like, yeah, the 50% includes we're gonna send someone to your house and they're gonna clean your house and then they're gonna give you like a massage. Like it includes that. Every game that you could possibly want. It involves us setting up like a concert, like strictly for you. Like all of these things, like you could justify it. But again, all it comes down to is value. Are they providing a service and a value that is worth it, right? Or are they sitting on their ass and just saying, I need a little bit more money. Oh, please, I need money. Give me money. Give me your money. They're just like a freaking leech, just like suck. Right? There's just like a fucking leech there, right? And they're not doing anything. Then like obviously it's bad.
We're going to manage your inbox for you. We're going to talk to all of the managers and all of the CEOs of the companies trying to
To be fair, Mythic doesn't have the same recognition as Vshojo before, so saying 50% doesn't matter. That's true. Like, I guess the clout that Vshojo had at the time was more than Mythic. That's for sure, yeah.
To hire you. We are going to read over the contract and ensure that you are not getting fucked over and that this business is not fucking you. If anything goes wrong with this deal, we will make sure it was taken care of. We will deliver this to you without you having to lift a finger, and all you have to do is say, okay. We will explain to you exactly what to do, when to do it. We will pre-write out your tweets. We will outline your streams for you to make sure all talking points and deliverables are.
That's what I mean, right? That's a service, right? Like he, LV says the real story here is that Vshojo took 50% of the income of the biggest VTuber in the region. 500K used the insurance money, and they still broke the company. Have no, yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy. And the money they paid the 50% royalties of the VTubers money. That's crazy. That's where that's where the whole thing falls apart. Like, I think, which we'll probably get into later. But what Tectone is describing here, like, that's a service, right? Like, that takes burden off of you and is worth it, right? Like I would be like, oh, that's pretty worth it. Like, for whatever that cut is, what did they say, it was like 15 or something? Like, yeah, that sounds awesome, because then you don't have to worry about anything, right? So it's like, it's giving you more time in your day, like, right? Like, with me personally, since I don't have that, I have to search for sponsorships on my own and negotiate them on my own, right? Like, I have to like talk to the person and be like, okay, well, I can do it these days. And then they're like, okay, well, how much is it? And I have to, like, you know, calculate the rate and give it to them. And then, you know, maybe they'll say that's too much. Maybe they'll say that's too, maybe they'll say like that's too little or something like that. I've only had that happen one time, by the way. Very, very cool sponsor. They were like, no, we want to pay you more. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. But my point is that they have to give value.
Easily met. And once we have done all of that, we will take 10 to 20%, which we will negotiate the deal as high as possible. That way you won't feel the cut that we take. Vshojo says,
that's another thing too, having them negotiate, because negotiation is one of the most stressful parts of the deal, because you're like, oh, what if they get insulted or something like that, right? And you have to like deal with like, oh man, how much do I even ask for? Like, they're like experts in that, so they'll be able to like calculate it and be like, this is market rate, this is fair, take it or leave it, right? They'll be able to actually like do that, and they have the expertise to like be able to say that. Like, you know, they have like big people working with them, so I'm sure like they're like, hey, we work with these big people, we know what the rates are, so like, you know, take that or leave it, and you have them to do that for you, so then it's worth it.
well, whenever a sponsor happens, we want half. Why? Oh, I don't know. That's industry standard.
Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah.
Fuck those people, bro.
A non-compete, because if Mythic gives me a sponsor, let's just keep math really simple, right? If Mythic gives me a sponsor and says they'll pay you $100 if you play this game for an hour, I don't want Vshojo to be legally able to go behind my back and contact the sponsor and say, she'll do it for 80, just so Vshojo
Industry standard, more like standardized robbing. I know.
will then give the sponsor to me, and they will be
Ridiculous.
able to take the cut.
Aboba.
I want them to
Yeah,
non-compete, so they
yeah.
can't do that. So Vshojo can't go to the sponsor and be
Yep.
like, no, she'll do it for this much, just so they can give me the sponsor and they get their cut.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
want
it's
that.
fucked up,
They
yeah.
Mythic got me the sponsor first. I want it in a non-compete that you can't fuck over me and or Mythic. I want a
Yep.
non-compete. Very
Very-
standard
Yeah.
thing. Very standard
Very reasonable. Yeah.
thing. They didn't want to sign that. They said, when I brought this up, I have proof of everything, by the way, and before anyone tries to...
Why are they signing contracts that are surprised if they get the conditions in the contract? So, okay. So other girls did this. Lily is very business-minded. She's very, like, she understands how corporations work. Lily is very intelligent.
Yeah.
This is the reason why she's an owner of Gamersubs, right? The way these contracts deceive people is to front load every contract with, oh, we love you, everything's sunshine and rainbows, we're here to support you. Little line, but we're gonna take 50% of everything. But everything is gonna be absolutely great, to where if you miss one line, you are fucked. And with how long ago these other VTubers signed into Vshojo, which was a very long time.
But LV, remember that one time I signed like a really fucking awful contract? Holy fuck. Well, I didn't sign it. I almost did. And then I was like, wait a minute. Man.
time ago.
Man.
People weren't really accustomed to
Which one? I'm not gonna say. I don't want to.
dealing with such scummy, malicious companies and fact-checking the whole contract before companies like Mythic or AMG or Loaded, where they would offer to read the contracts for you, because it's a lot of words, guys. These are like 48-page contracts, right? So I don't really guilt anybody for falling victim to a contract, like, because they're long, right? They're long.
Dude, it was so bad. You get okay. How can I like describe that contract without actually saying? How do I describe it? It was like, okay, we take your brand, you shoulder all of the risk, and we take 70%. It was freaking ridiculous, bro. It was crazy. It was so crazy.
And they make it look so good, and they bring like 3 people on call saying, yeah, everybody loves this, and these other girls have already signed. It's the same thing that Hoyoverse did with Enviosity, where they got Envy to sign a contract that should have been a 5-figure contract for $0. And then once Envy, the biggest Genshin Impact, signed
And I guess that you almost nearly saying that. There's some circumstances I can't say.
for $0, they got to use that as a leg up to say, well, Envy did it for free, so it's obviously a good idea. And then everybody else fucking did it, right? So if they can get victim of one successful creator on a bad day who didn't read the shit, they're going to use it like, well, if Iron Mouse and Bebe and Zentreya all signed it, why won't you? What, do you think that they're dumb? Do you think that they would have done something stupid? And that's how they get you, right? That's how they fuck you.
Yeah, but she's like really business smart, so she saw through that.
Pull some weird sneaky shit, or Vshojo try some weird sneaky shit. I have proof of everything. I have proof of everything. Okay, everything. The whole 2 hours of the first one, and
Yo, how are her stats so fucking OP? This isn't fair.
whatever of the next following meetings. I prove everything. Anyways, I got all the receipts, hours of receipts. Anyways, they then tried to argue when I asked about the non-compete. They were like, hey, we operate on a trust basis. And I was like, don't give a shit. Don't care. It's a contract. There is no trust in a contract.
We here at Vshojo, we're family. We operate on trust and love. The moment you hear that, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You don't know these people. You don't owe them shit. They are corporations. They are soulless, cock-sucking robots that will do anything for money.
There is no trust basis. I know people like, there is no trust. There is no we don't operate on jack shit except for the black on fucking white on this fucking contract. Trust basis. The second red flag was in this beautiful first interview where
Dude, that was like some Major McQueen shit, dude.
We don't operate on jack shit except for the black on fucking white on this fucking contract. Trust basis. The second red flag was in this beautiful first interview where the very beautiful person in the very beginning,
she ulted,
where they presented everything of what Vshojo can and will do for me. I asked straight up because the contract had none of that in there. Not one thing, except for the parts I want money off, not one of those things was part of it. The only thing part of it was the money they offer me a year and something else. I forgot about what it was. But there were 2 things. But there was just, again, transactional money things that they had to put in there. So, not one thing that they offer me as a service was in there. So I simply asked, put them in a contract. Everything you offer, put it in a contract. Needlessly to say, that part never happened.
Imagine
that is literally making a deal with the fucking devil, because if all of these things are things you promise, there is absolutely no reason to not have them in a contract. These are things you promise. You swore. You are
basically they wanted to cover their back so that they have a way to fuck you over and then be like, well, wasn't in the contract.
That's your whole selling point. But when I ask you to put it on paper in the contract that you want me to sign, you refuse. No. No. The only thing, apart from all the negative, the only thing that was positive in this whole thing was when I asked Vshojo if I can reach out to the other talents, because they're trying to hire me. They're trying to make me sign with the company. I said I want to reach out to the other girls and make sure they want me there. First of all, I want to make sure they're aware I'm being recruited. Second of all, I want to make sure they want me there because one part of my list of demands was I refuse to do fake shit. I want that the girls
Damn, that's so fucking based.
want me there.
Yep.
And they
Nice.
did not tell me to not do that. So that was the only thing that I can be like, okay, cool. That's the only thing where they were like, you may reach out to the other parts of Vshojo. Okay, cool.
I hate that shit too.
So that was the only good thing that was part of the contract.
That's the other thing that I appreciate about OTK. The only reason why I joined was because every member wanted me there. That's kind of what they do whenever they invite new members, is they get a general vibe check and they have to get everybody to agree that they want you to be a part of that org because there was so much, there was so much collaborative content that
So
nobody
much,
wants to see
you
shit
know.
they hate. But then I'll be real. Everybody in that org fucking hates each other now. So well, yeah. When people got older, man, they got bitter.
Contract
Ruh-roh.
negotiation, they were fine with me reaching out to other girls. And I did.
You know how I avoid this chat? I don't hang out with anyone.
Yeah. And
Yeah, didn't a couple people not want Emily? Yeah, that changed later. Yeah, that changed later. Yeah, actually, a couple people didn't want Emily, which is crazy because I think Emily is probably top 3 members of the org right now.
I did. And after all of that, I decided to not join. I decided
Emily's
if
great.
they can't put what I want in there, no. And the reason I call this legal robbery is, again,
Like, she's a great streamer, not a great driver.
Women's like, one time I tasted something I didn't like. So since then, I've never tasted new food. Well, yes and no. So I went to IKEA one time and I wanted to try something new. So I had a meatball sundae and food poisoned me so bad that I was shitting for days. And now I never want to eat anything from IKEA.
Asian female, that's like a recipe for disaster when it comes to driving. But like streaming, great streamer, man, great streamer.
now that you have a bit more contact. Also, they wanted me to have quality payouts. I suggested that's bad. I don't want that. It makes it difficult to track stuff, and human error can persist during these. I don't want that. Which, you know, that isn't necessarily the biggest red flag. It's just like,
Are you sure it was IKEA? Yeah, because I'm the only one that ate a meatball sundae. I'm the only one that got sick. My mom didn't. Everything else, we ate the same food.
it leaves room for error that can be left unaccounted because it's difficult to keep track of these things. So, yeah. I noted down that there's nothing malicious with this, but if they take longer than 4 months to get a sponsor page to show up in the books, nothing malicious, but it leaves room for unnoticed error because who the heck keeps track of every sponsor payout from over 4 months ago? We negotiated this to be closer to the industry standard payout length. Yeah. I also wanted to negotiate that.
Also, 4 months is not the industry standard for payouts. It's net 30.
Yes,
net 30
that's true. It is net 30.
is the industry standard. Never accept anything longer than net 90. It's 30 days after completion.
I think the most I ever accepted was net 45.
You should be paid. Okay? If you get a net 15, thank God. Net 30 is the standard. Net 90 is the longest. Don't accept anything other than that.
Any concept they help with, any lore, whatever the fuck, is 100% owned by Vshojo. I wanted to negotiate the splits on projects that Vshojo is only a partial owner of these things. It's all belonging to me. They don't own any of this. They wanted 100% ownership of everything they help. I didn't like that. What else? I also wanted to argue that Vshojo cannot take down whatever they want. If I make a tweet and Vshojo doesn't like it, they have the right to ask me to take it down. I have I believe it was 1 week, but I'm not sure. But I wanted them to have a clause in the contract that basically makes it, you can ask me to take it down, but you can't force me. So if I don't want it, if I don't want to take it down.
Oh, you know they would have. Man. Oh, the Silvervale stuff.
You simply have to get rid of my contract. I don't like how they can force me to take something down. And I have to comply within, I think it was a week. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I have to actually check the actual contract. This is just my personal notes.
Yeah, an org saying they get to dictate what content of yours stays up or goes down is fucking ridiculous. I've actually never heard of that in any company ever. They can suggest, hey man, this isn't a good look. Do you mind taking this down? But they can't say, you must take this down or you are terminated.
Through.
That's ridiculous.
But I didn't like that.
You want to know one thing that might have happened? Like, okay, I'm just speculating, okay? But this is a thing because I know that this happens with me too, where like my lawyer, right? When I talk to my lawyer and I'm like, oh, I need a contract, right? I need a contract for this, right? And the lawyer's like, okay, what do you need in the contract? I'll tell him like loosely what I need in the contract, but the lawyer will always write it in the most fucking villainous way possible because he wants to look out for you. Does that make sense? I wonder if that happened. They'll do that because the lawyer works for you, not for the client, right? So the lawyer will always get your back as much as possible, right? So like if the lawyer can, they will make it as airtight as possible that you have the highest advantage in any sort of negotiation or any sort of court, that you have maximum levels of winning if a dispute arises. So like I wonder if that happened. Yeah.
So I wanted them to add that. I want to make sure they can't abuse this. So I want to negotiate the stuff that if I that I have a week to comply, and if I refuse to take it down, they can terminate my contract instead. That's what I wanted to do. I also wanted an editing team for YouTube relevance because they promise marketing and all kinds of other things. So
Idol companies do that all the time. Oh, okay. So that means it's fine? Fuck no, it doesn't. If a bunch of people are pieces of shit and they're doing pieces of shit.
But like the truth is though is like contracts should be a negotiation. And I guess like that is kind of the problem. Like one of the problems is that VTubers are a lot of VTubers are like really naive. And like I feel like I am too, but like sometimes I look at like what other VTubers do and I feel like a wise old fox, even though I feel like I'm retarded. And I think what happens a lot of the times is like these lawyers, you're supposed to negotiate. So like when you get a contract, you're supposed to look at the contract and be like, okay, well, I like this. Like, okay, this I have a problem with. So like we need to like talk about this. Like for instance, like I had a sponsor one time. Dude, this is crazy. Let me tell you about one sponsor. Let me tell you about one I had one time. I had one where it basically said that they would have access to all of my analytics. And I was like, absolutely fucking not. And like, I actually negotiated with them. I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm sorry, I ain't doing that. Like, you have access to my analytics? Absolutely not. Right? Yeah. And it was like, yeah, we want access to like it was like in the contract, right? And again, like almost everyone signed it because they were like, oh, you're the only one that had a problem with this. I'm like, yeah, but I have a problem with it. Right? Because a lot of the other content creators, they just signed it and they're just like, okay, like accept terms, right? I didn't. I said, I am not giving access to my analytics. And so like they had to do like a workaround specifically for me because of that. No. It was absolutely true because I saw a lot of people that were in the thing that didn't have the special caveat that I did. But yeah, they have, there's again, like all contracts are supposed to be a negotiation where like you say you want something and then they present you the contract, you say, oh, I don't like these things about it, and then it's supposed to be like that. But I can imagine like if you're a VTuber, you don't really know like what's going on, you're just like, okay, and then you just sign it, right? And then they made it like maximum in their benefit.
That doesn't make it right. It just means, wow, now there's a larger group of pieces of shit.
I said I want an editing team and I want a base amount of things they do for YouTube, and I want to make sure they have a minimum effort a week that they have to reach for YouTube exposure and YouTube stuff. They didn't want to do that either.
Side note, fuck idol companies. They're all shit.
No conflict of interest negotiation, then do not compete hasn't been signed. There was no termination clause in the contract at all whatsoever, which means that I would have to go the full 2 years. I wanted them, let me just check. I wanted so that when the contract renews, they have to inform me, and if I don't provide my signature for the contract renewal, the contract doesn't renew. I want them to terminate the contract if I don't renew. And I also, another reason, the exit clause, I mainly wrote this down. Sorry, I have to catch up on like my notes. I wrote this down because all of the things they offer, if they do not offer them, again, everything they promised, if they end up not fulfilling their end of the contract, I basically have my exit clause.
Good.
So I don't even necessarily need them to have an exit clause, but I need them to have those things in there because if they don't comply, I can dip. That's another reason as to why I want those things in there, because that basically becomes my exit clause. If I, for example, tell them, hey, if I have a problem with this, you have to help me. Hey, do not compete. Hey, do not do this, this, and this. And if I don't do those things, I can leave. We successfully negotiated, just to also have some positive things, we successfully negotiated security and safety issues. We successfully negotiated project management, such as low videos, podcasts.
I find it insane how you would have to negotiate safety issues. The fact that they're not already in there is insane to me.
VTuber animes, game shows, 3D shows,
Like,
D&D
rats,
streams.
I'm glad it was negotiated.
Shy says the contract writer will try to get the most benefit for themselves, and they're also expecting you, the signer, to negotiate for the best deal for yourself. So be suspicious of a group that will not allow any negotiations in the contract. Yeah, exactly.
Space technical expansion and stuff like this. We successfully negotiated terms on operational marketing and everything tied to it. And I said that I negotiated this because Vshojo had the presentation when recruiting me for the first time, setting a bunch of services they promised to provide, to sell, the idea of Vshojo, but none of them are part of the contract, so we listed the most important ones in the contract to reflect that. But they didn't want to add all of these things in there. They said they would add them in there, but in the actual negotiation with the actual contract, it still ended up not being in there. So only partially. Yeah, the payouts wasn't a red flag. It was just questionable because I wanted to be more industry standard based.
Of course.
Let me just see. Sorry, this is a long note. Oh yeah, there was one thing that we agreed on because there was a clause in the contract that they own all my material basically indefinitely. Which sounds fucked up. But their reasoning, and I understand, is if I'm part of Vshojo and they have a music video of mine up, for example, and I terminate my contract, they would have to take it down too, because I no longer own my IP, because I own my own IP. But I think successfully, in my notes, it's marked as successful, but the problem is those notes are before we negotiated the contract on paper. This were verbal negotiations, but they just said like, yeah, too. But I basically said that
actually, hold on.
stuff that I created.
Actually, I actually don't really agree there. Like, I feel like if you are gonna have like a thing that is permanent, like a song, for instance, like you are doing like a song project, like say like, for instance, like let's say that Julio is our new VTuber, right? And I tell Julio, hey Julio, we're gonna produce a song for you, but we want that, like the contract for that song would be that the company, at least at the very minimum, has rights to continue selling the song after something happens. Because like when you put it up on the store, you would want that song to be purchasable after the time of like, you kind of part ways, right? So that makes sense to me, especially like if the company's the one producing it, right? Like if the company's like, okay, hey, we're gonna make this song. Company's gonna pay for it completely. It'll be like to promote your stuff, but we want to be able to sell it, like, as long as we can. And like that makes sense to me. That like you would wanna hold on to that, like have that in the contract that you can have that like forever, basically, right?
And upload it while being part of Vshojo can stay up, but you don't own any of my whatever forever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that makes sense. What she said.
I wanted this clause to be more specific in the contract.
Sorry, I said what Tectone said didn't make sense there.
I understand what they tried to do. They don't want to get fucked over by parents leaving and then having to delete their existence from everything. All the merch, all the videos, all the music stuff ever created, all the concerts, all the commentary, everything ever created. They can't go through all of this every time a tenant leaves and delete everything. But I wanted them to reflect that this will only ever reflect stuff that is created as part of Vshojo. Nothing before, nothing after, nothing following.
Sure.
And I have a business degree and just have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lawyer who may or may not have dealt with contracts of it may.
Yeah, it's very obvious. You can tell Shylily knows what she's talking about. It is very nice. Yeah, all of the naive VTubers, lack of business savviness, all gathered into one fucking whale.
Have been suspiciously enough a very similar contract. So this was.
It's nice seeing one VTuber who actually knows how to not get taken advantage of business wise. It's great, man.
Wasn't the first rodeo. I just have a great, amazing lawyer. I love
And by the way, if you have above 3,000 viewers on Twitch, you should have a lawyer.
him so much. But
AS has a lawyer.
yeah, and then I asked him to knock all of the third-party stuff out of the contract, which in my notes I marked as resolved and successfully negotiated. But again, once we actually did get to the contracting phase, with their lawyer,
I have two lawyers. One is called ChatGPT.
who was very unprofessional, by the way.
No, I actually have a real lawyer.
because she was constantly just zoning out. She constantly didn't know where the fuck we were. Every time we needed her to reply to something, she was always doing like the...
I have heard the worst things about Vshojo's lawyers. Like, I have heard horror stories that will one day probably make service to light. Just absolute scumbag piece of shit. Get this, a lawyer who's a scumbag? Man, I'm shocked.
Can you repeat that for me? Can we go over this again? I'm like, bitch, you're not paying... You ain't paying attention. Holy shit, you're not paying any attention.
There's no way that...
To be honest, a lawyer's job is to be a scumbag on your behalf. Their entire job is to make things incredibly unfair for anybody that wants to fight you. That's their entire job.
Every other VTuber lacked understanding. Yeah, I know, man. A bunch of girls who never got educations and blew up from playing video games because they were too lazy to get real jobs.
Lawyers are basically like, yeah, this person's coming at me with a baseball bat. And the lawyer would be like, yeah, orbital strike. That's basically like how lawyers are, basically.
There's no way that a big corporation was able to successfully manipulate them. Yeah, you're right, man.
You're literally zoned the fuck out anyways. So that was just frustrating, because I was like, you're supposed to be my lawyer when I'm joining? Ugh! I also didn't like her condescending tone.
Oh, Neander's invasive, they were unlicensed? Oh, so we can grade about that. Yeah.
I heard this was true. I heard that they were unlicensed. I'm not sure. Allegedly they were unlicensed.
Yeah, guys, Vshojo's lawyer, I'm glad they talked about it so I can. Vshojo's lawyer wasn't even licensed. Straight up. Like, bootlegged off Compton streets. Shady as fuck, unlicensed lawyer. Is that not insane?
Whenever she spoke about...
For a multi-million-dollar company, they couldn't even get a licensed lawyer.
Industry standard.
They got a lawyer from the Bronx.
And making me and my lawyer feel like the people who don't know what we're talking about when we are the actual golden standard of industry standards. We did not ask in anything something that isn't industry standard. I just was so excited to join the girls, and we literally only did everything super industry standard. But they're the ones who always claim that all of their cuts and everything is industry standard. Also, another thing with everything that's bad, I would like to note, Vshojo does not take a cut of your Twitch dashboard, at least that I've been assured. All of the cuts they take is money from sponsors, third-party deals, merch, blah, blah, blah. But like I said, as a year-long successful indie, I wanted them to stay away from all third-party shit they have nothing to...
You'll hear more about that when the NDAs are broke.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, they were absolutely taking subcuts.
...do with, and they just couldn't comply with that. So, yeah. And now to the people who still go like, why didn't you avoid it? Shut the fuck up, bro. If you have nothing to lose, if you have nothing, and they want something of everything, they ain't getting shit anyways.
Yep.
For someone who has nothing, this contract isn't even that exploitatory. It still has some icky stuff in there, but like, if you've got nothing, you can use this as an opportunity to grow yourself into something over the next 2 years. You can use it as an opportunity to grow still. It's not bad for everyone, but it is absolute daylight robbery for people who are independent. Yes. When did I ask? 2023 second half during summer-ish. Yeah. Like that deal is entire. Keep in mind, that contract had none of the things they promised. They said they operate on trust.
Fucking
the entire forest over...
That's not a good idea. Not a good idea.
2 hours.
They operated on trust unless it meant that they needed to get money from you, in which case, yeah, they made sure to write that down in the contract 100%.
Sit down with them of what they can offer, what Vshojo is, and how they can help with talent and their value talent. None of this was in the contract.
Family,
almost
guys.
none. There were 2 things.
We work on trust.
Those things, it's mostly
unless
because
it's your paycheck.
It's, once again,
we get
about
50%.
their assets. I want to make sure I don't get more assets than I can ask for. So that's probably why it's in there. So none of that was in the contract. That says a lot. So yeah, also to other people who say that the contract is the best they've ever...
You know, it's a little unfair of me to take a dig here, but I'm pretty sure a lot of the people that are gonna watch like the Shylily like footage here are gonna be like, wow, operate on trust, that's so bullshit. I really want red flag laws. I bet you it's like the same people will be okay with red flag laws and then say I'm crazy for like not trusting, you know?
It has to be wrong. It doesn't have to be wrong. Also, some people don't have such an amazing lawyer as I have. Some people may look at the contract
I have
considering
the best lawyers.
the PowerPoint presentation.
The best in
they
the
have
country.
probably
Best
also
lawyers
Our great
in
nation
the
in the United
country.
States.
and they are like, this is fantastic.
Truly the
Without
best.
realizing that this entire presentation doesn't exist in the actual contract. And some people don't even have a fucking lawyer. They only look at the PowerPoint and they're like, this is amazing. Plus, who is to say they all got the same contract? Plus, who is to say I didn't help anyone else? The lawyer that I
Yep.
pay for, remember, my lawyer, the lawyer I pay for, I gave all of those notes for free
Yo, what's up,
to
Zelius?
everyone, including my personal notes and all of the red lines, to everyone who asked. Because they didn't make me sign an NDA. Nothing, they made me sign nothing that doesn't give me the right to do so. So, and before you try and somehow once again go on some weird fucking hate train because you want to dick ride my fucking hate train so bad because you're so desperate to find something wrong with me, fuck you. Try always making shit up when there's nothing to make up about. If you don't
Guys, for real. People give Lily so much shit for no fucking reason. Genuinely. People have been desperately looking for a reason to shit on Lily. But she really is one of the best VTubers in the space. Bro, is she a VTuber Tectone? There's a lot of parallels.
No shit, maybe just shut their fucking mouth. Cannot fucking wait to have handstands all day long because this is the only fucking way I can
Dude, they're
expect
probably scared of her. She's like really smart. She seems really smart at least.
so much shit's coming out the upper end. Holy
Yep.
fuck. Some people are so mentally goddamn deranged.
Yep.
Making shit up about drama and how I hate people who join Vshojo because I didn't warn them. Like, what the fuck kind of schizo bullshit is that? Brother,
Yep.
if they happy, they happy. You know how many friends I've actually actively warned to not do something and they went ahead and did it and I was just simply sitting there being happy for them? And then a year or two later when they're like, wah, wah, I'm simply there for them. I do hit them with a little bit of an I told you so, but mostly I'm there for them. I still poke fun at them, but I'm there for them. Sometimes you warn people like, hey, that girlfriend of yours is fucking toxic, don't do it, and they still date them. What do you
Man.
I should have listened, bro. I should have listened, man. I should have listened.
do? You said fucking through it like a good fucking friend that you are. Shut the fuck up. You hit him with a little tiny, I fucking told you she a bitch. But then you're simply there for when times are rough. Done. That's just how some people learn. Some people don't want to listen. Or they believe in all of the bullshit they're being fed down their throat of like all of the nice things they get to see and the good, too good to be true stuff. Also, a lot of people are very insecure and believe they can't make it without a corpo. Yeah, and then a lot of you don't poke at least a little fun at them. Yeah, sometimes it's your job to just watch the fucking train wreck and just, you know, just be there at the crash site. It's just how it is sometimes in life. Like, those fucking mentally deranged, absolute loser incels have to realize that if you've ever had friendships or values or any meaningful connections in your life, you would know that you can't always warn everyone. Some people will literally ignore your fucking warning and everything you know. And against
Yep.
your better judgment, they have
That's
to make
true.
their own decisions. And to be a good friend, you simply have to be there.
Oh
for
wait,
them.
hold up. Are people hating? Hold on. Are people hating on her for not saving other people? No, what she's saying is absolutely true. Is that there's a lot of people that you can tell them that they're about to get fucking hit in the face, and then they're just gonna say like you're lying, and then they get hit in the face right after. It's like it. Yeah.
When everything comes crashing down. But you wouldn't fucking know that because you've never formed a
And
meaning.
sometimes, like, to be honest, sometimes they need to get hit in the face. Like, as a lesson. Like,
Full fucking relationship in your whole fucking life with your father walking out and your mom fucking neglecting your whole family being basically no contract and you just being in a fucking basement talking about VTubers and trying to shit talk them on based on nothing and no information.
I will say, valid crash out. The
Yeah,
person
she
who gave
crashed
me
it
the
out.
most advice in life that I should have listened to a lot earlier is a black man called Zizix. If I would have listened to Zizix, man, my life would have been way easier. He's a smart guy.
Anyways. Sorry, I had to be German for a second there. Anyways, that was the kind of worms I opened yesterday and I just wanted to put down the facts a little bit of like why it was such a red flag contract, how
if Tech Nova says, if I remember correctly, her hate started a long time ago because Vebe said she was copying her voice. I like sort of like I have a weird like I feel like I remember something like that happening, but like I try to stay out of the VTuber drama. I just like kind of laughing at it, like from the sides, you know. Like I don't want to really like being like involved in it.
it was absolutely disgusting.
Did Vay say that, or did people say that? I don't know. I actually don't know. That's why I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what happened.
And how I didn't like their final meeting with their lawyer. It was very unprofessional. I did not enjoy the condescending matter of their lawyer, their contracting lawyer. I did not enjoy the manipulation of what I'm supposed to believe is the industry standard. That was not nice. Them promising to not take anything of my assets that I've owned prior to Vshojo, just to backtrack and be like, yeah, there is no, yeah, stop, take your fucking greasy sticky fingers off of my assets and my money and be good. I just wanted to have a good time with the beautiful girls, man. Was my fucking my entire career's dream was to be part of fucking Hololive, and when that didn't work out, I was like, I discovered Vshojo because, well, I discovered Hololive way before Vshojo. And when that didn't work out, I saw that you can have the same fun in the Western sphere as well. that was my pep talk. Thank you for coming to my show. Oh God, let it rip.
Man.
Jesus.
There's a topic I covered.
Shut the fuck up, Charlie. Yeah, guys. Well,
There's a topic I covered.
shut up, Charlie. Well, guys, once again, I was right. Is anybody surprised? No, not really. Anyways, see you on the next one.
That's a good one. All right, man. So the one I'm wow, dude, how long? Oh, we were watching that video for so long. Zealy says, I'm pretty sure Van Lily resolved that already. I know there's more hate of her now because of her response to the Cinder situation. What was her response to the Cinder situation? I don't know, man. I literally don't know anything about like about VTuber drama. Like I'm not involved in any of it. You know, I'm just not. Mermam Hina says, I honestly hope Haruka is doing all right through this. I messaged her the other day, and she's hanging in there. Basically, it was just accusations that she orchestrated all for her personal benefit. What? I don't know. Leaflit manifesto gonna go crazy? No. Not really. I don't really want to be involved, to be honest. Like, the thing is like, usually when stuff happens, you won't see me tweet about it, usually. Like, I think I tweeted about it, like, one time. Like, the whole Vshojo thing. I did one tweet, and it was a reply. I replied to, like, Nanners or something. I just said, bro, basically. My entire reply was just bro ... That was my entire like thing. I try not to like whenever stuff happens, I try not to. I don't really like I don't like going on X and like making some big post about it. Like, I'm not really into that. So like, usually I'll just DM people if there's like some kind of problem. I'll just DM people and ask if they're okay. I don't really want to make it public, you know. Just kind of how I am. True fact, I wouldn't have met Leaf when I did it at Haruka. Haruka's good. I care. I like Haruka a lot. Just there'll always be a special place in my heart for Haruka. It's best not to get invested into it, unless it directly involves you. Yeah. Does anybody remember a few years ago when Nux blew a whistle on a hacker that was posting his Vshojo and doxing a bunch of... Guys, if everything comes out, there is some crazy shit. Like, there is some truly crazy shit going on in the VTuber community. And, if it comes out, it's going to be crazy. It's not really like my place to say because a lot of my information is like kind of like, you know how I'm the type of person that I want to understand like both sides before I like make a claim. Well, you see, a lot of my information is not firsthand, but a lot of the secondhand information that I have about stuff in the VTuber community is quite bad. So like if it comes out, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. Let's just say. Release the Iron Mouse file, says Freaker Hunter.